Hi, my name's Karen Holden. I'm the founder of A City Law Firm. We are a legal 500 listed firm in the City of London. It's International Women's Day, and we have been extremely busy writing articles, writing blogs, recording videos, hosting webinars, and attending events. This is a very exciting week as a female founder and for many of my female-led heads of departments. I wanted to introduce you to the articles rather than have an impersonal approach of just writing these. So we are looking at those that are in successful businesses, shareholders, or setting up a business. If you enter into a relationship, partnership, marriage, you want to be looking at protecting your financial wealth, be it a prenuptial agreement, a postnuptial agreement, perhaps even a shareholders agreement if you are in business with your spouse. It's very difficult to have these conversations and very awkward, and we do understand that. The idea is a business transaction. You do this with a third-party investor, so why not your partner? All you're doing is setting a transparent platform of what you expect, mechanisms to resolving future problems. Perhaps one of you wants to leave the business or the partnership, and there's a mechanism there for doing that without impacting on the business and your financial wealth, as well as obviously at the time, the emotional distraught that I'm sure comes with a divorce or separation. It also gives your staff, employees, security, children if there are any. So if you can have that difficult conversation now, hopefully it's just paving a way for a bright future, but with a mechanism to addressing problems if it happens. We'd also suggest that you get your wills in order, whether that's a mirror will or otherwise, just to make sure that your loved ones and your dependents are looked after should something happen to you. And in particular, you need to formulate a plan for your business should one of the senior shareholders or directors pass away. Do you want your children to actually be saddled with your business? Perhaps they don't want to get involved in this or understand it. Or perhaps you do want them to be involved in the company business, and therefore you need a mechanism for it to continue until they come of age or perhaps caught up with their training. If you don't want them involved, cross-option insurance is something you need to consider, whereby the beneficiaries are paid out for the value of their shares. There's a lot you can be doing to plan, to forecast your future, and to protect your loved ones, and obviously protect you in the business should the relationship not work. I hope you find our article on this useful. Please do log in to our website, go to our articles page for more. We're also looking about whether you should actually consider being married versus being a cohabitee only for protection when it comes to your assets. This is sadly a topic that only comes up when it's too late, potentially through a separation. The laws are ever evolving, and originally it was the dream for everyone to be married. It was the safest as there was a 50-50 part and division. But now with prenups, postnups, children, there's a lot of things to consider. Postnups and prenups are not legally binding, but they can be very persuasive. But both parties need to be clear. They both need to have had independent legal advice. And you do have to understand if there's children involved. The court may set these aside as ultimately the children is more important than anything else the adults require. You then need to look at how the actual asset is held. If you are not married, then it will look at who's the registered owner. Is there a deed of trust? Then there'll be an accounting exercise as to who's put what in, whether it's for the mortgage, whether it's for renovation. It then becomes a financial offsetting exercise between the parties as to who put in what, as opposed to the starting position in a marriage where it's 50-50. Again, children will be considered outside of this arrangement. So you do have to consider the emotional side of things of marriage versus living together. You need to consider your children and how this will impact on the law. You need to consider on whether you want agreements, post and prenuptials to protect you. You need to look at the division of assets. Would that be fair and equal in the future? Do you need to consider potentially the female side of things by reducing their salaries, perhaps being the main child bearer, maybe turning down opportunities for promotion whilst they've been having children and families, but may then want to go back to that. Conversations can be difficult with spouses, but again, preparing for the future, planning this out, and setting protections in place is absolutely something we recommend. And I hope this article is useful online. Thank you, and I hope they're informative, and we'll be bringing more to you shortly.